honey?
It's flammable. Who knew?
Welcome to Dave's Take. Today we are talking about The Beekeeper, the latest film starring Jason Statham. One man's brutal campaign for vengeance takes on national stakes after he's revealed to be a former operative of a powerful organization known as Beekeepers. Yes, it's that time of year again. It's time for another Jason Statham movie where he just kicks the shit out of a bunch of people. And yes, that's exactly what Beekeeper is. It's a film where you're supposed to not really think about it too much, enjoy the cheesiness, get some popcorn, maybe even some drinks, and just enjoy watching Jason Statham beat the piss out of people. And I just gotta say, Jason Statham, he's still got it. It's just fun to see what he does. I know he's pretty much doing the same thing, just in different movies. Like, he's playing the same exact character in like 20 different franchises at this point. It's really fun watching him just beat the shit out of people. He really owns these types of roles, and honestly, it normally works. And I gotta say, the first third of this film was a lot of fun. It really leans into what this film is supposed to be. It's just supposed to be a lot of fun, and Jason Statham doing his thing. What the film does well at first is establish the douchebags that you like to see Jason Statham kill. As you probably saw from the trailer, these douchebags like to scam the elderly. They are scum of the earth. And a little side note, if you ever have the chance to watch YouTubers scam scammers, it is fucking hilarious. You will not be disappointed. Go watch those videos. But yes, the douchebags in this film are scamming old people. So instantly, you are on board with Jason Statham, and it is fun to just watch him mutilate some of these people. And that's what the first third of this movie is, but then it runs into a bunch of issues. I think the biggest problem with this film is the story, because it starts to get very convoluted, and it tries to be bigger than what it is. You don't have to have the bad guys be part of some bigger scheme, make this story bigger than it actually is. I think if you left the story as simple as, hey, these douchebag scammers are scamming elderly people, let's just let Jason Statham go crazy on them, the film would have been more fun, it would have been more simple, and I think it would have worked a lot better. But no, the film tries to make the story bigger than it actually is, and sometimes it loses me at points. Also, early on, they try to establish the lore of the Beekeepers, like how insanely talented and powerful they are. But I'm not gonna lie, there's a scene that feels like it was copy and paste from the first John Wick movie. And I can definitely tell that there's a lot of inspiration when it comes to the Beekeepers and some of the John Wick lore, but some of it I don't think completely works. Because, for example, there is a part where we're faced against another beekeeper, and I think this beekeeper gets picked off faster than just a normal FBI agent or a normal SWAT person. I'm like, wow, these people could be a serious problem. Then, oh, you're just taken out by a jar of honey? What? I get it, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but come on. I mean, when you set up lore like that, I feel like that type of fight needs to have higher stakes and just be a little bit more intense. And it just wasn't. Also, with the action here, I think David Ayers has made some good films with End of Watch and Fury, but some of the action here I don't think really works. There are definitely some shots with the fist fighting and close hand-to-hand combat that I think looks really great, but there's a lot of just quick cuts and bad editing and shaky cam that I thought we just left behind. We need to stop doing that shit in action movies. So yeah, a lot of the action here does sometimes feel generic, which is disappointing because that's why you see a film like this. And also the main villain here is very weak. It's Josh Hutcherson, and I like seeing Josh Hutcherson in films, but here I just didn't really like his portrayal or performance of this villain. It just really wasn't as fun as I think people thought it was going to be. It was probably something that just sounded better on paper. But I gotta say, it was cool to see Jeremy Irons. I thought you did a good job in this film. He was probably my favorite performance in the film. Well, besides Jason Statham, because it never gets old. Let's face it just never gets old with some of the shit that he does. Also, I feel like there's some inconsistencies when it comes to the plots and the story, because there are parts where Statham is just tearing people apart and he's like, no, I'm not killing FBI guys and like the good guys, but there are parts where I'm pretty sure he fucking shot them. So I don't know if that's just bullshit or if I was seeing things, but I'm pretty sure he killed a couple fucking good guys. Character motivations that didn't really add up, didn't really make sense, and the film just sort of wraps up. It just sort of ends, and not really in a good way. So in the end, there are some enjoyable parts in Beekeeper, specifically in that first act of the film. Statham always kills it. He's a lot of fun to watch, and I did like Jeremy Irons a lot in this film too. But the film tries to go bigger than it actually is, which is ironic, because then it makes it feel like a more generic entry of the Jason Statham action franchises. I'm going to give The Beekeeper 5 Davey Daves. The film is also very funny, and I think it's in an intentional way, but I don't know if Beekeeper was supposed to intentionally be this silly title for this really dangerous soldier that they set up. I mean, Beekeeper, I feel like we're running out of names for franchises. So, The Beekeeper. Let me know what you guys thought of it once you've seen it. I'm curious to hear, and thank you so much for watching. Click here to see more of Dave's Takes.